And brothers and sisters, today we're going to memorize Luke chapter 1 verse 45. As always, we're going to be using the scripture typer cell phone app, smartphone app. You can find it on the App Store, Google Play, etc. So we're going to go to My Verses, see one of the earlier tutorials, one of the first tutorials for a more in-depth tutorial on how to use this app, but it's pretty self-explanatory. So we're going to get right into it. Luke chapter 1 verse 45. I'll stick with the NIV, but you can choose different translations. We'll just put this in a verse of the day collection. Import verse text. You can always double check it, but it's usually pretty accurate. Save. Then I go down to that collection. These are just ways to organize your verses. As you can see, I have a couple verses due for review. Alright, so as always, we're going to use the 3x3 method. I'm going to do each step 3 times. The first step is to type it. The second step is to memorize it. And the third step is to master it. So the first step, typing it, you're going to hit the first letter of each word. And the word should turn from gray to black. So blessed is she who has believed that the Lord would fulfill his promises to her. Luke 1:45. And once again, blessed is she who has believed that the Lord would fulfill his promises to her. Luke 1:45. And once again, blessed is she who has believed that the Lord would fulfill his promises to her. Luke 1:45. As always, I recommend that you recite the verse as you're typing it, as you're reading it, and as you're listening to yourself recite it. You're interacting with the verse in many different ways at the same time. So it's very helpful. The next step is memorize it. It's going to take away half the words. And then you're going to hit the first letter of each word again. And you're essentially filling in the blanks. And this intermediate step is very helpful, very important. So blessed is she who has believed that the Lord would fulfill his promises to her. Luke 1:45. Once again, it'll take away the other half of the words. Blessed is she who has believed that the Lord would fulfill his promises to her. Luke 1:45. And once again, blessed is she who has believed that the Lord would fulfill his promises to her. Luke 1:45. And then the last step is to master it. You're not going to have any on-screen helps, but you're still going to hit the first letter of each word. So blessed is she who has believed that the Lord would fulfill his promises to her. And at this point, you should be able to hear your own voice in your head. Luke 1:45. Do it once again. Blessed is she who has believed that the Lord would fulfill his promises to her. Luke 1:45. And once you get 100% accuracy, it might take you a little while to get there, but once you get there, I recommend that you try to get it at 100% accuracy 3 times. You want to practice getting it completely correct more often than you've practiced getting it, almost correct before that point. So you really want to get the verse, not just until you get it right, but until you can't get it wrong. So once again, Luke 1:45, blessed is she who has believed that the Lord would fulfill his promise to her. Okay, Luke 1:45. As you can see, when you make a mistake, it'll turn red, it'll buzz, it'll let you know what your level of accuracy was. And once you retry it, it'll have a little heat signature there to let you know what area you need to work on. So blessed is she who has believed that the Lord would fulfill his promise to her. Luke 1:45. Alright, so that's 3 times. And that is pretty much it for this tutorial. As always, I want to make sure that you review your verses. So as you can see, I got some verses due. One of the best features of this app is that it keeps track of all the verses that you've memorized. And each day, once you hit a certain level of accuracy, it will advance your review frequency. So if we do this one more time, let's see. Blessed is she who has believed that the Lord would fulfill his promises to her. Luke 1:45. So right now it says review daily. So if I get this correct tomorrow at a certain accuracy level threshold, for me, my settings is set to 96% accuracy. Then it will advance the frequency of the review to every 2 days, then every 3 days, 4 days, so on and so forth, all the way up to once a year, once you really get the verse ingrained. So it's it kind of takes away all of the logistical things you have to worry about, and you just have to worry about just doing the verses each day and staying up to date. So it's a great app. I can talk on and on about this, but thank you for watching. This is Danny from CatchForChrist.net. Please check out the website. I have my own translation. It's a little different than NIV. It's more close to the NRSV, ESV, etc. But yeah, that's all for today. Have a great day, and God bless.